Hi everybody, I'm Sheree from the library and I'm sharing stories this month, everything from nonfiction to funny but heartbreaking to real to some amazing sequels. I want to start with something brand new. This is The Night War by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. That's a mouthful. She wrote The War That Saved My Life. I hope that some of you have read that. If you haven't, start with that one, then go on to this one, which is the story of 12-year-old Miriam. It's 1942. Miriam is a Jewish girl in Paris, and all of the Jews are rounded up in Paris and are put on trains to go no one knows where. But quick thinking, Miriam escapes and her neighbor hands her her baby just before she is taken. So Miriam and the baby have escaped, but they have to find a safe place to be. It ends up that the baby is taken from Miriam and she ends up at a Catholic boarding school where she is called upon to do something so risky and so dangerous. No one is sure how it's going to come out. In the meantime, she is searching for the baby to bring her back to her mother. It's an incredible story. It's not super long, and it had me on the edge of my seat every minute because it was just spellbinding. I want to revisit The Mona Lisa Vanishes. This is also a historical book about the once upon a time true life crime when the Mona Lisa was taken from its frame in the Louvre Museum. It talks about how the painting wasn't very well known, the criminal got in and out without anyone noticing, how the police went after him, how the media blew up the event. It reads like an amazing fictional story, like somebody's making it up, but it's all true. Incredible. Two realistic novels that I read that just broke my heart wide open. This is And Then Boom, and it's about a kid who is used to his mom up and leaving every once in a while. In this particular instance, he is with his grandma, then she gets really sick, and now he has to figure out how to be on his own. If you read Starfish, it's by the same author, Lisa Phipps, and I can't recommend it enough. I loved everything about it. This is The 10th Mistake of Hank Hooperman by Jennifer Chaldenko. She wrote Al Capone Does My Shirts. If you haven't read that one, go back and check it out. This is about Hank, and Hank, his mom has left him in charge of his 3-year-old sister, and she has also disappeared, and he is on his own. The landlord says that they have to go, they don't have any food to eat, and the only thing that Hank can think of, the only person that might help him, is a friend of his grandma's who he hasn't seen in probably 10 years. When he tracks her down, she says they can stay for a night, then it's 2 nights, but eventually Hank has to decide what comes next for himself and his sister. So 2 fantastic books. Now, 2 books based on true stories, Wink and Popcorn. Wink came first. The author is Rob Harrell, and this is it's based on Rob Harrell's real experience of, in 7th grade, he got a very rare form of eye cancer. It sounds terrible, but he comes out all right, but it makes him, he has to deal with eye goo, he has to deal with weird hats and a squinty winking eye and bullies and people who make fun and people who don't understand that he's not winking at them, that it's all part of his condition. This book came out a couple years ago and I loved it so much because it's so hard and sad, but it's so real and funny. I was thrilled that he has a new book out. This is called Popcorn, and it's also based on some of his real life experiences in 7th grade when he really struggled with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and anxiety. It takes place in one day, but it is the worst day ever as one thing after another goes wrong for Andrew. So you'll laugh a little, but you'll love them, and you'll really be excited and hopeful for the next one. When I often talk to middle schoolers, there are books that we have loved over years, and I hope that some of you have read the Sharon Draper, started with Out of My Mind, then there was Out of My Heart, and now there is a 3rd and new one, and they are the story of a young girl. What is her first name? I gotta remember. Melody. Melody cannot speak, she cannot move, and she is thought to not understand what's going on around her, but she does. Her mind is going all the time. She is so aware of language. She has so much she wants to share and communicate, and we meet her in Out of My Mind when that process finally begins to happen. And then it picks up her story, and the third installment talks about her adventures on an overseas trip that are a challenge she never could have imagined. If you are a Percy Jackson fan, you may have read all the way through the series. 2 years ago, a brand new one about the kids, they aged Percy into high school, and so Rick Riordan, the author, wrote a new book in response to all the fans wanting more. Now there's a second one, and they're called The Senior Year Adventure. This is book 2, Wrath of the Triple Goddesses. You can actually read the Percy books in any order, but if you start at the beginning, you will love being able to build on everything you know about Percy from the beginning. Everything I talked about here is fiction, except for Mona Lisa, but I want to remind you that if fiction is not your thing, we have incredible nonfiction books. This is Atlas Obscura, the world's most adventurous kid, 100 adventures around the world. This is the Guinness Book of 2024, brand new, full of all kinds of world records. Some you might know and have followed, and some are brand new and in response to things going on in the world today. If you are somebody who loves to cook, I got the grilled cheese cookbook off the shelf. Love every recipe in it. So whether you want to cook, read information, read funny, read serious, or read a series that you love, they're all at the library. I hope you come in and find the one that you love and pick up one of these while you're here. Thanks a lot. Bye.